So this is a 1961 AC Greyhound. There's less than 100 of them that have ever been built. They're a steel chassis with an aluminum body that's handcrafted over top. This car is gold. If you don't know what I'm talking about, think about the Carroll Shelby AC Cobra. This is the Cobra's older sister that no one knows about because she stayed inside all the time and only was driven on nice days. She's got a full independent rear suspension. She has aluminum drums that have steel inserts, so the drums on this thing are so incredibly light, and it handles and tracks really well. This is the definition of a pure British sports car. When we received the Greyhound, it barely started, would not run, overheated, and had no brakes. We had a lot of work to do, and we did it as efficiently as possible because we want to drive and run this car before we do any other sort of fuss work. We're not paying attention to any other details besides making it run and drive. There's a lot of ugly things that the previous owners did to this thing, but most important thing is getting this thing down the road where you can drive this thing and really enjoy it, fall in love with it, know what it was like to turn back time, but also have a couple extra horsepower under the hood. So what we had to do first was sort out these brakes. We made sure that the drums were perfectly in round. We got new shoes for it. We also were able to get new front brake pads. Then underneath the car, we had to make sure that our fuel system was good, that our parking brake was good, just in case your brakes fail. The giant 302 in this car forced us to put an electric fan in front of the radiator. So we made a nice little AC vinyl cutout just so people kind of think it's a little bit original, but anyone who knows cars knows there was not an electric fan back then that would keep that thing going. So we did a lot of work to get this thing on the road, and now we're going to take it for a test drive. Old British car is really strange. It's got this massive steering wheel, so my legs are in a really awkward position that I've never had them before while driving a car. It's really fun when you're trying to stomp on the brake pedal and you've got this big wheel stopping you from doing that. Besides that, this car is a dream to drive. With the 302, it has gobs of power. But most importantly, back in the day, this thing was just a pleasure to drive. Now, it had a really bad steering box, so when you turn the steering wheel, you've got to be imagining you're driving a tow truck or something because it does not like tight corners. But if you're just out on those open roads, really just tearing it up, this is the car for you. I love driving this thing, and having a 5-speed with a V8 just completes the experience. I'm 6'2", and I can actually fit in this car without having too much headroom issue. So that's something that I really appreciate, is that this is a tiny little compact car, but you can wedge yourself in there. Now, enough of me talking, let's drive this thing. That's what I call American muscle, baby. So this thing is so light that this 302 just launches it. Even though this thing's pretty much stock, just a couple little modifications here and there, this car has some serious get up and go. You've got to be in the situation to understand it. I mean, just ripping through these turns, shifting gears, it just feels good. There's something about this that gets in your blood, and this is the type of car that makes you an addict. So once you've gotten all the adrenaline out of your system, what makes this car really nice is that it drives so well. So when you want to just go for a drive and enjoy the back roads, you can do that in this car. And back in the 50s and 60s, that's what they did in this car.